Have you ever watched a tennis match that completely changed the way you looked at a player? Not because of the final score, not because of one unbelievable winner, but because, somewhere between the pressure, the momentum swings, and the silent moments between points, you suddenly realized you were witnessing something far more significant than just another victory. That's exactly what happened the moment Alex Eala stepped onto the court. At first glance, it looked like another impressive performance from one of the brightest young stars in women's tennis. But the longer the match continued, the clearer it became that this wasn't simply another talented teenager enjoying a breakthrough. It felt like the beginning of something much bigger, something that most of the tennis world still hasn't fully recognized. And by the time the final point had been played, one thought refused to leave my mind. Alex Eala is different. Now, that's a word people throw around far too easily. Every season, another young player arrives and gets labeled as the next big thing. Every impressive victory suddenly becomes proof that a future champion has arrived. But most of those predictions disappear just as quickly as they came. Tennis history is filled with extraordinary talents who burst onto the scene before slowly fading under the weight of expectations. So when I say Alex Eala is different, I don't mean it in that familiar, comfortable way people usually praise rising stars. I mean something much deeper. Something that becomes obvious only if you pay close attention to the details most fans never notice. I've watched countless matches over the years. I've seen unbelievable talent. I've seen fearless teenagers defeat established champions. I've seen magical tournaments that seemed almost impossible to explain. Yet very few performances make me want to watch the entire match again immediately after it ends. Usually, once the result is final, the story feels complete. But every once in a while, a player does something that forces you to question your first impression. You find yourself replaying the match, not because you missed the highlights, but because you're trying to understand the invisible qualities hiding beneath them. That's exactly the feeling Alex Eala left behind. The truth is, tennis isn't won by talent alone. At the professional level, talent is almost a requirement just to survive. Every player can hit incredible winners. Every player has trained for thousands of hours. Every player knows how to compete. The difference between good players and great champions has never been raw ability. The difference appears when pressure arrives. That's where careers are truly defined. Pressure changes everything. It changes decision-making. It changes confidence. It changes movement. It changes breathing. Even the greatest champions in history have admitted that pressure affects them. That's because pressure is human. It doesn't matter how gifted you are. When momentum begins slipping away, your instincts naturally become more cautious. You start protecting your lead instead of building it. Your swings become tighter. Your body language becomes smaller. Your confidence slowly disappears point after point without you even realizing it. We've all seen it happen. An aggressive player suddenly starts pushing the ball back into play. A confident server begins missing easy first serves. An attacking player stops taking risks. It's not weakness. It's human nature. But then there are the rare exceptions. Players who seem to operate differently. Players who somehow become stronger when everyone else becomes nervous. That's exactly what stood out about Alex Eala. As the pressure increased, she didn't retreat. She expanded. And that's probably the single most remarkable thing about her entire performance. Most athletes think less clearly under pressure. Alex appeared to think more clearly. Most players become defensive. She became more decisive. Most competitors hope their opponent makes mistakes. She continued creating opportunities herself. That isn't luck. That's mindset. And mindset is often the one quality that separates champions from everyone else. Watching that unfold reminded me of something that rarely gets discussed in sports. People often assume young players are fearless because they don't understand how important the moment really is. Sometimes that's true. Youth brings a certain innocence. When you're young, you haven't experienced enough heartbreak to fear failure the way older players do. You swing freely because you haven't yet learned how painful defeat can become. But what I saw from Alex Eala felt completely different. This wasn't the fearlessness of someone who didn't understand the occasion. It was the calmness of someone who understood it perfectly and refused to let it control her. That's an enormous difference. One disappears with experience. The other grows stronger because of experience. And that's exactly why her future feels so exciting. The more I watched, the more I found myself comparing her journey to so many others who arrived before her. Tennis has always loved overnight success stories. Fans love dramatic breakthroughs. The media loves unexpected champions. Headlines are built around surprises. We celebrate explosive arrivals because they're exciting. They create unforgettable moments. But there's another path toward greatness that receives far less attention. It's slower, quieter, less dramatic, but often much stronger. Instead of exploding into the spotlight overnight, Alex Eala has been building something patiently. Every tournament has added another piece. Every victory has strengthened her confidence. Every difficult defeat has taught another valuable lesson. Instead of relying on one magical week to define her career, she's been constructing a foundation capable of supporting success for years. That may not generate the loudest headlines, but it creates the strongest champions. One particular moment during the match continues replaying in my mind. Ironically, it wasn't an incredible winner. It wasn't a spectacular rally. It wasn't even a match point. After losing an exhausting exchange that she probably deserved to win, Alex quietly walked toward the baseline. There was no visible frustration, no emotional reaction, no panique. She simply closed her eyes for a brief second, took one slow breath, collected herself completely, and delivered a perfect ace exactly when she needed it most. Most fans probably forgot that sequence within seconds. I couldn't stop thinking about it, because that single moment revealed something statistics never can. Anyone can play great tennis when everything is going perfectly. Champions reveal themselves after disappointment. The greatest players don't avoid negative emotions. They recover from them faster than everyone else. That breath between points might have lasted less than a second. Yet inside that second was years of emotional discipline, years of preparation, years of learning how to separate one point from the next. That's what greatness looks like. Not spectacular celebrations, not dramatic fist pumps, not emotional speeches, just complete control over your own mind when everything around you becomes chaotic. One of the hardest lessons professional athletes ever learn has nothing to do with technique. It has everything to do with attention. Success changes your life in ways few people understand. One incredible tournament can suddenly transform an unknown player into an international headline. Reporters appear everywhere. Cameras follow every movement. Social media analyzes every interview. Millions of strangers suddenly develop opinions about someone they've never even met. That attention can become overwhelming. Many gifted players struggle not because their tennis disappears, but because their emotional balance does. Managing expectations often becomes harder than winning matches. That's why emotional maturity matters so much. And that's another reason Alex Eala feels different. Listen carefully to the way she talks after victories. Then listen after defeats. There's remarkable consistency. She doesn't become arrogant after winning. She doesn't become hopeless after losing. She speaks honestly. She accepts responsibility. She keeps moving forward. That emotional balance is incredibly difficult to develop. Many experienced professionals still struggle with it. Yet somehow, Alex already appears to understand one of the most valuable lessons in professional sports. Your relationship with your own performance must remain stronger than the public's relationship with your results, because public opinion changes every single week. Hard work doesn't. Most conversations surrounding Alex Eala eventually focus on her aggressive style of play. And yes, she's certainly aggressive. But reducing her game to aggression completely misses what actually makes her dangerous. The real secret isn't power, it's timing. She understands when to attack. She understands when to wait. That balance is unbelievably difficult to master. Most aggressive players become impatient. Most defensive players hesitate too long. Alex somehow combines both instincts into one complete system. She builds rallies patiently. She creates angles. She stretches opponents across the court. She waits. Then, the exact moment the opportunity appears, she attacks without hesitation. Every aggressive shot feels earned. Nothing feels rushed. Nothing feels forced. Her patience isn't passive. It's strategic. Every rally becomes a carefully constructed plan leading toward one decisive opportunity. That's an incredibly mature approach for someone still so early in her professional career. Experienced players recognize that immediately. Professional athletes notice things casual viewers often miss. They understand which opponents are simply playing well and which opponents possess something fundamentally different. Rankings don't always reveal that truth immediately. Results sometimes arrive later, but players usually know first. That's why more people inside the tennis world have quietly started recognizing Alex Eala as something much more significant than another promising prospect. The wider public simply hasn't caught up yet, but history suggests they eventually will, because this pattern has happened before, again, and again, and again. Before every future superstar became a global sensation, there was a period when their actual level remained ahead of public recognition. The warning signs existed. The performances existed. The consistency existed. People simply weren't paying enough attention yet. Then one unforgettable tournament changed everything forever. Almost overnight, the entire world believed they had discovered a brand new star. In reality, the greatness had already been developing quietly for months, sometimes years. Perhaps Alex Eala is living inside that exact moment right now. Perhaps the breakthrough everyone is waiting for isn't creating greatness. Perhaps it's simply introducing greatness to the rest of the world. And that's an exciting thought, because if everything continues developing the way it has so far, women's tennis may soon experience one of those unforgettable moments where an emerging star suddenly becomes impossible to ignore. Not because she changed overnight, because everyone else finally noticed what had been there all along. That's why the word different continues feeling more accurate than talented, promising, or impressive. Talent can be measured. Potential can be debated. Rankings constantly change. But being different, that's something much rarer. That's the quality that transforms careers into legacies. And judging by everything we've already seen from Alex Eala, that story may only be getting started. Way she handled pressure made you question everything you thought you knew about greatness. That's exactly what happened when Alex Eala stepped onto the court. At first, it looked like another exciting performance from one of the brightest young talents in women's tennis. But by the time the match ended, it felt like something much bigger had unfolded. This wasn't simply another promising player enjoying a breakthrough moment. This felt like the beginning of a career that could redefine expectations. And strangely enough, the biggest clue wasn't found in the scoreline. It was hidden in the smallest moments that almost nobody noticed. There are certain matches that stay with you long after the final point. You replay them in your mind, not because of the highlights everyone shares online, but because you're trying to understand what you just witnessed. Sometimes the result doesn't even matter. Instead, it's the behavior, the decisions, and the composure under impossible pressure that refuse to leave your thoughts. Watching Alex Eala created exactly that feeling. It wasn't the type of performance you admire for a day before moving on to the next tournament. It was the kind that forces you to rethink where a player truly belongs in the future of the sport. In tennis, talent is everywhere. Every player who reaches the professional tour possesses incredible ability. Powerful serves, lightning-fast movement, stunning winners. But talent alone has never separated the good from the truly unforgettable. The greatest champions possess something much harder to describe. They carry themselves differently when everything begins falling apart. They don't just survive pressure. Somehow, they become even stronger because of it. That quality cannot be measured by statistics or rankings. You recognize it only when you see it with your own eyes. That's exactly why Alex Eala has become impossible to ignore. What makes her story so fascinating isn't simply that she's winning more matches or climbing through the rankings. It's the way she competes. Every rally seems to reveal another layer of maturity that feels far beyond her years. Most young players rely heavily on emotion. When momentum swings against them, their confidence often disappears with it. Their body language changes. Their decision-making becomes rushed.